Well, welcome everybody. Evening with Robert here on GHTR, the nation's podcast radio. I want to give a shout out to Pamela and I for last week being on the show. It was an incredible show. Loved having her on there. And, man, I tell you what, it was a very eventful night. I learned a lot about her. And she's definitely, I guess, in my book, one of the coolest women out there and one of the prettiest, too. I really have a lot of respect for her. And tonight, though, I have a very special guest. Me and this guy met, I think, almost by accident, I would say. He's a real good friend of mine. We have worked together on some projects that we wrapped our heads around. And then a couple years ago, I don't know. It's really weird. But anyway, it's Tony Wilks, and Tony's with me right now. So how you doing there, Tony?
Oh, fantastic, brother. How are you?
It's been a while since we've had you on the radio.
Well, yeah, it has been a little while, but it's been really busy here in Texas, and I know you've been busy up there. I follow you on Facebook a lot, and keep up with you. It's just that
so you could see my torment with the snow, right?
Oh yeah.
I kept sending you're down there in Texas, of course, and I'm sending you these pictures of where our highways are closed, everything's blown in ice, and you're just like going, hell no.
Oh yeah, we get like a little bit of ice, and it's gone in a couple of days. But
yeah.
I'm surprised anybody still lives up there.
Well, we do. We're getting through it now. The warm weather's hit, and it's been really cold the last couple of days, but. Anyway, now back, we've known each other, I think it's going on 3 years now, isn't it? More than that? 4 years?
Sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah, and we really, one of the biggest things I remember most about Tony here is that he seemed to be this guy that he's always thinking, and none of his ideas, anything that comes through his head is a bad idea, the way I look at it. And about a year, I think it was about a year after him and I met, we were actually doing something for, we had an idea, a concept for the Buster Mathis Foundation, and we needed to find kind of a hook. And Tony did his research, and he come across an amazing company. And I'm going to let Tony tell you about this company, and it's Vemma Nutrition, and he has been doing this for quite a while now. And we're going to have some guests on tonight. These people know what they're talking about. I really am looking forward to this. So if you're listening right now, you're not going to want to miss any part of the show because it's going to get real interesting real quick. It's going to be a little fast moving there. You're going to get to meet some really successful young people, really. And we're going to learn all about the product there towards the end. So, Tony, why don't you tell us about Vemma Nutrition?
Well, cool. Well, let me set this up for you for just a second here. This started a long time ago, back when I was probably 5 or 6 years old, guys. And I had these big dreams and stuff, and it started, like I said, about 5 or 6 years old. My parents, I had adopted 2 of my cousins that had been put in foster care, right. And that was at the Bill Buckner Children's Home here in Dallas. And we went and adopted them from that children's home. And I can remember when I walked into that children's home. And we picked them up. They seen the new faces walk in. They seen this family walk in, and they looked around and they were really optimistic. All the kids that were there were really optimistic, and they knew that the chances of them finding a home and people coming to pick them up was probably slim to none. But it didn't stop them for that minute of dreaming, thinking, wow, what if these are my new parents walking through the door?
Right.
Okay. And that kind of stuck with me, Robert, for a long time. That, like I said, that was 5 or 6 years old. And I remember telling my cousins, and I don't know how long after this, I said, one day I'm going to go back to that children's home, and I'm going to buy Christmas for the whole children's home. Okay?
Right.
And this was a big thing here in Dallas. It was huge. And, that dream kind of faded away for many years because of circumstances, right? You grow up and you get a job,
Mm-hmm.
and, it never really sprung back up until about the time you're talking about. Guys, Robert came to me, like he said, about a year into us having, us talking and getting to know each other. And he come and he said there was this gentleman named Buster Mathis Jr. that had, the Buster Mathis Foundation and this thing called the Bully Buster Preventative Program that he wanted to roll out for 250,000 kids a year. And he said he needed a product that he wanted to, kind of maybe possibly roll into the curriculum of that particular foundation. And, I got really, I really started thinking about it. I kind of put it in my head. And one day it just came up and I found that product and I called you back, Robert. Remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I called you back and I told you, hey, you know what? I think I found something for you. And I remember you got Buster on the line with me and, we started talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
And, this product that I found was called Vemma Next. And it's a nutritional product made by Vemma Nutrition Company, and it's partnered with the Children's Miracle Network. Now, the Children's Miracle Network operates 170 hospitals throughout the United States. It's just a great organization, and so many places like Walmart support this place. But Vemma Nutrition is one that also supports this cause, and it really struck a bell with me, and I thought it was a good fit for you guys and that foundation and everything, and that led me to this fantastic product. And through this company, through the last 2 years of my association with Vemma Nutrition, it has allowed me to dream those same dreams again. It's given me a vehicle where I know that I'm going to be able to go out and help countless numbers of children.
That's right.
On top of countless numbers of people, okay? But it is going to allow me, that vehicle, to go back and recapture that childhood dream.
Right.
And that is, that's kind of what our show title tonight was Dare to Dream.
Yes.
Robert, man, think about it. Do me a favor. What were your childhood dreams like? What did you want to grow up to be?
Well, actually, I wanted to grow up when I was young. I wanted to grow up to be work in sound studios and be behind the scenes. I remember back when I was in the 6th grade, I was in drama class, and I got to they were doing a play. Now, I wasn't in the play, but I was behind the scenes, and I really was interested with the way the lights were, using the theatrical lighting to get the lighting just right to make, turn a stage from day into like a sunset or something like that. And I just was like totally blown away with the sound and all that other stuff. So that was my dream. I got to live that dream, but at the same token, I think, the bigger dreams I had was my personal biggest thing is I'd like to build a youth home where troubled teens can come, and get away from the bad elements and not be judged and stuff like that. That's kind of a dream I've had, but it's almost like one of those impossible dreams. But the one night I remember when I first heard you say "Dare to Dream," I don't know if you did it on purpose, but every time that I would talk about you, every time that I would, anything with Vemma, anything that I would post, anything I'd tweet, I'd always say, at the end, dare to dream. You remember I started doing that?
Yes.
And for a while there, I don't know why, but it's true. I mean, your dreams can come true. So, I'm sorry, I cut you off, but go ahead.
Oh no, 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 absolutely. You know, you tipped on something right there. You know, and that is my next point. Really, is what happens is to these dreams is we get 18, 19 years old, and some of us don't. We get stuck having to make a living.
That's right.
And sometimes that gets in the way of us pursuing our dreams. And when you create that gap between when you created that dream as a kid and then you create that gap in there, a lot of times you don't capture it back, and then you find yourself chasing your tail, just making bills, just doing all the little stuff. And I'll tell you, Robert, we got a guest down here tonight, and he's not on right now, and he's going to be in a little bit. But his dreams and stuff are a lot like yours, Robert. It was to be in music, and he wants to, he wanted to be in a band and go to music school. And he's only 17 years old, so he's got all of this in front of him. But we know how quickly those dreams can get doused.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's a hard road, and I'm sure that his story is going to be like, a good one because, living that dream. When I think about it sometimes, you lay awake in bed, and of course, the older you get, you start to think about your past a whole lot more. I never thought I would ever do that, but I start looking back, and I see where, I wish things could have been different. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
You know how it is. It's just like some of the close calls we've had. It's just
absolutely. But Robert, you don't have to wish things could be different.
Right.
Okay? You really got to figure out, you got to keep these dreams at the forefront of your mind. And if you keep these dreams and goals at the forefront of your mind and start taking a tiny step every day toward them, right? Create a plan and expect to win, okay? And you can take these tiny steps every day toward your dream, and then it don't seem so far-fetched. It don't seem so far out there anymore because you're getting closer and closer to these dreams. And that's what we're trying to teach the young people of America today, that, the deck's stacked against them. The economy's changing, and the economy, when they're getting out of school, is not as good. Their jobs and stuff are harder to find and lower paying than they originally anticipated when they created their dreams and their goals for their life.
And you got that, and right there is one of the main reasons why, that I'm still working with the Buster Maths Foundation. And we, at first, we were interested in the Bully Buster preventative program, but we soon found out that was not a direction that we really wanted to go into. And what was really amazing was like what you're saying right now. It's like one of the biggest things that are in our school systems nowadays is that these kids are hand-fed from the time they're in, grade school, that you got to go to college, you got to go to college, you got to get good grades to get into college, and this is what they have to deal with their whole life. And we found out that there's kids that don't want to go to college. They want to get into a skilled trade. They want to start making money right away. And this is why I said to you, about my daughter. I said, yeah, you let me handle my daughter. I'm going to get her to do this because this is a business and she can make money to help pay for her college, to help pay the stuff that she wants to do. And it's so amazing. I know I'm going to let you talk about it more, but what you're saying is it's the same thing. It's like, there's all these kids coming out of school, and it's just like, remember I was telling you about, graphic designers. I said, these kids, they want to be graphic designers. They go to school, to become a graphic designer, and only 3% of all the kids that go to school for graphic design end up doing what they're doing. 3%. What does that tell you?
It's it's not, that's just what's at the forefront of what you're thinking about, but it's not any different from anything else. Okay, so they come out, and what they realize is that market's saturated. Okay,
there you go.
It may not have been saturated when they started college, but it is when they got out of college, and then at that, it's saturated with people that are staying in the marketplace longer.
Right,
okay, because
right.
they're raising the retirement age, right? And some of these fields are for young people. That's okay, but the marketplace is just not stacked up anymore, and
No,
it's
it's
changing
not.
so rapidly. And these kids have got to they got to find a place where it caters to their strengths. And right now the marketplace is changing towards social media, and we went from this industrial age, right?
You're right.
We remember this industrial age, and it changed to the information age, right?
Yep.
Well, now it's in the middle of the shift from the information age to the connected age. And millionaires and billionaires are created in those shifts, in the middle of those shifts. The people that are in the forefront of those shifts. And right now to that connected age, what demographic is the most socially active demographic of all time? It's these millennials. Right. These kids that we used to, this is a little soapbox of mine, but I say we used to go and complain, wow, all you do is sit on your Xbox and you're sitting in front of your computer all day. Nobody ever gets out and plays football anymore. Nobody ever gets out. You're sitting there playing games, Facebook and MySpace and doing all that. Well, what happened is when computers started shifting from this desktop to the telephone, these kids now with all of these skills and social media and all these gamer skills and all these computer skills now have an opportunity to really, truthfully rule the world.
There you go.
And rule business. Because we got, as grown-ups, we got to go to our kids and say, hey, how does this Snapchat work?
Yeah, right. Yeah. And that's the one thing I remember you were saying, you said, you asked me, hey, do you have Snapchat? And I go, you remember what I said? What the hell's Snapchat? And they go, oh, no, yeah. I used that, and then my daughter has it. Then Jody had it. And I'm like, and right now, I'm just going to be honest with you. Call me old, but I still don't get it.
Okay. Well, you know what I don't get? I don't get this Jewel. There's a little game, Candy Crush. I don't get this Candy Crush thing, right? I think you can play it online or on your phone for free,
yeah.
But these people make $600,000 a day. Okay?
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
The stupidest game ever, but they're making $600,000 a day.
You want to hear something that this will probably fit into your little soapbox deal here. Just probably about a month ago, I was actually listening to a program, podcast actually, and these guys are really good at technology. And this is what I want to tell you. Now, Tony, you are going to relate to everything I'm about to say. You cannot say you don't relate to this. Back in 1997, actually, 1996, I bought a Toshiba laptop computer. It was Windows 5, I think, or 4 point something at that time. And that computer, just now follow me. That computer I thought was a kick-ass thing. I thought it was a badass, whatever. I paid $4,900 for that laptop computer. That's the most I've ever spent. I could have got a car for for what I paid for that laptop. Now here it is. You ready for this? Our phones, right, are the equivalent, okay, to 2001, computer systems. Our phones are getting better and better. They're faster and faster. Now, today, our phones are smart. They're compact. These kids that you're talking about can tweet. They can Snapchat. They can Instagram. They can get out to the world where years ago, you and I had to do it the old-fashioned way. Get out on our vehicles and go out there and knock on doors. Now we're knocking on people's friends lists and all this other stuff. So go ahead. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah,
then?
Absolutely. Knocking on doors is a thing of the past. It won't be long. It won't be completely long before you see the Girl Scouts completely all cybered out.
It's already happening. It's already happening.
Yeah. I mean, you probably won't buy your Girl Scout cookies from the little girl dressed up at your front door.
On 2012, schools you'll be able to have a choice. You can either go to school, take classes in school, or take half your classes at home on your iPads and everything else like that.
Well, they're not planning for that because here in Texas, we're building the biggest, most
there you go,
god-awful priced schools you've ever seen in your whole life.
Well, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The thing about it is the classrooms, everybody will have their information in front of them on their phones, on their iPads.
Well, my youngest son was like that already. He went to a special school. It's called a magnet school. Right. And, everything was on his blackboard for the whole semester, it was on his laptop. They all had backpack laptops that the school gave them, and they had all of their work. So he actually graduated 3/4 of a year early.
Yeah,
because he had completed all his work.
See, the thing about it is this is where, like my father, you get him talking about it, and he's just like, he goes, what's going to happen if the computers go down? They're all going to be standing out in the street not knowing which way to go. Yeah. Leave that to the old man to say that, it's like, but yeah, I mean, really seriously, these kids today, they have the tools today. They have everything. They have the technology standing behind them. And right. I think this is going to be one of the biggest evolutions. Let's hope that a lot of these kids get together and start figuring out ways to help the economy. They are. Yeah. They really are. And you wouldn't believe, just this YPR movement that we have. And when I tell you YPR movement, I tell you it's called Young People Revolution. And just in the last 2 years, the stories that have come out of this and the people that have been helped, and and that's from a financial standpoint. But the people that have been helped from a health standpoint with this company is amazing. Right. And the fact that these kids are able to drive a nutrition product, okay? A nutrition. These kids don't care about nutrition, okay? But they see this as, they realize that, if you can run a 4:1:40, what should you do? Run track, right? Right.
If you're the most socially active generation of all time, what should you do?
Oh, get on there and socialize.
Yeah, get on there and figure out something you can do for a living that uses social media, right?
Right.
Every company in the world is now building a network, okay? They're all, I seen you trying to get likes, right, for the radio station. Mm-hmm. Everybody's battling to try to get likes, and they know that wealthy people build networks, and they know that the rest of the people look for work.
That's right.
Okay? Wealthy people build networks, and the rest of the people look for work. So, this revolution, this YPR movement that we have in front of us is just simply amazing. And these kids are just really, 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 really taking it by the reins and going for it.
All right.
And so I tell you, we have guest coming up here pretty quick. Do you need to go to commercial or?
No, you're good, man.
Okay, cool. Well, we got a guest coming up here really quick. First, I want to tell you about this young lady. She's actually just turned 20 this week, and her name is Genesis Hernandez. Okay. Now, Genesis herself was not able to make the show. She had a family emergency at the last second. But Caroline Schutz is going to really share Genesis' story for you guys, because it really, in this whole scheme of Dare to Dream, her story really touched home with me. Right. And I hope it does your listeners as well. So if I could, I'm going to turn this over to Caroline Schutz, and she's going to tell Genesis' story real quick.
So I'm very grateful to be able to share with everybody tonight in a special way.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Genesis was always known for her childlike joy. She was about to graduate high school. She was a junior. She was top percent of her class, 10% getting accepted into any Ivy League school that she wanted, getting scholarship monies. She was very talented, smiley, just known for her personality. And her parents unfortunately got divorced whenever she was a junior. Right. And it was really, really catastrophic in her life. She just got depressed, and she really fell behind in her school, which was really unfortunate, because now she ended up getting stuck at a community college. And she has nothing against community college, but it wasn't what she had planned for her life, for her future. And it really, really disappointed her. And then she had met this guy, Alex Gona, at a Young Life camp. He lives out in Florida, but they became Facebook friends, and he reached out to her one day and was like, Genesis, I see that you have, big dreams, for your family and everything like that. I really want to share with you about this project I'm working on. So he reached out to her, and it was actually a perfect fit, because she had already been starting a Facebook group that was just for fitness. She was like, if you're going to be like the fitness models, you have to work out and be part of daily disciplines and really stay motivated. So she already started this Facebook group for fitness and was already starting to dream again. And she ended up jumping on board with Vemma and has just been so excited. Like, she can hardly even sleep at night. She's just so excited. Whenever she first jumped on board, I remember one thing that she said was, she was like, I don't even need a bed in my room anymore, because we're staying up all hours of the night with our friends, just dreaming. Dreaming while you're awake is so much more powerful than dreaming while you're asleep. And I just really encourage everyone tonight, if you have given up on those childhood dreams, to, let them have the hope to dream them again, because that's really what we're all intended to do, is to pursue those dreams.
Wow, that was pretty good. Now, just a couple questions. Now she's been in Vemma for quite a while now, right?
Actually, I think it's only been about 5 months, but she's about to be car qualified, and she has actually chosen to pick an Audi for the car of her choice.
I'll be dang. In 4 months, she got an Audi. See, that's called teamwork right there.
Yeah, she has an amazing team, and she has amazing mentors in her life that coach her every single day.
Right. See, this is one of the reasons why when Tony pitched this to me, one of the things that really I told him, I was very hesitant about it, and Tony he'll remember that. I was like, I don't know, man, this just sounds like one of those deals again. I said, I've dealt with this a lot, and he says, no, it's different, and it is different, because you don't. The one thing I love about it is you have a team of people to help you. It's not like you're sitting there by yourself. You have a team of people to help you. You got to do some other work.
Like her friend Alex that reached out to her, he was just a mutual friend that they'd met at camp before. Mm-hmm. And then he actually met some more people out in Florida that all of them just constantly are coaching. They Skype in almost every night for their meetings here locally in Dallas. Right. And they even fly out all the time to come and visit her team. I mean, it is so amazing how just they're right there with her. Right.
And that's what it's all about. I mean, I'm sure of it. And one of the things I can safely say that is, it is you have to work as a team. You can't do it as an individual. And matter of fact, it's sad to say that me and Tony experienced a young man who had to drive, but he wanted to do it all by himself. He didn't want no help because he saw the whole pie. He wants the whole pie. But like Tony said, okay, yeah, if you want the whole pie, man, you're gonna have to have a whole lot more money. I mean, so remember that, Tony?
That's right. Yeah, I think that gentleman wanted to basically start his own instead of work with a team and stuff. And I tell you what, you can do that, but it takes a lot of money to build your own company, and there's no there's no guarantees with that either.
No, and that's why, it's like I remember the night he was over at the house, and then I said, look, okay, here's a pie. I said, you want the whole pie, right? And he goes, yeah. And I go, well, you can't have the whole pie. You can have a very small sliver, because the rest of the pie are the people that are going to help you to be successful, And that to me is what sold me on Vemma. But Rob, I'm behind the 8 ball here. I'm way behind, but I love the product. I do. I really love the product. So,
well, the company is based around that product, and when you have the most complete liquid vitamin nutrition product in the world, okay, and when there's nothing that really stands close to it, then you got a very special product. You got something extremely special in your hands,
right? And
when you can use that to create a part-time or full-time income without overhead, okay, then now you got a home-based, car-based, school-based, entertainment, whatever you're doing, based business that travels with you everywhere on your little smartphone, and that's powerful, guys. That's powerful. To be able to do something that fits in with your life. And, we talk about this nutrition product and we talk about that children's product. But I'm going to tell you really quick before these other guests get on, but the most powerful thing that BK Baroka and the Vemma Corporation did was they put that nutrition product in a all healthy, all natural energy drink.
Yeah.
And they really disguised an energy drink and made it this complete vitamin supplement, and just give it a different delivery method to get this into the hands of the youth of today and get them excited, because Lord knows these kids wouldn't have been excited about a vitamin supplement.
Well, no, because that was and of course we're talking about Verb, and the thing about it is when I had it in the house, I had people. People coming over, hey, you got any of those Verbs? You got any of those Verbs? And I said, you like them, huh? And they go, yeah, this is really good stuff. And I'm like, it's really good for you too. Why don't you just drink to be healthy? And instead of because I know one of my good friends, he was drinking those those big monsters. He was drinking four of them a day.
Well, and it was your company that were really it was you and Buster Mathis that really launched me into the next phase of what I was doing, and that was to take this nutrition product for children called Vemma Next, but also Verve, and launch it into children's sports charities and foundations across the board, and to create a residual funding source for children's sports charities and foundations through nutrition instead of car washes, garage sales, popcorn, candy, candles, all the other things these fundraising companies are selling to create funds to fund children's sports with. And as you know, I started moving this across the country with BMX because my kids race BMX. And like you were saying, those big monster cans, right? Those should never fall into the hands of a 10-year-old.
No.
Okay? But we have Monster Energy paying sponsorships. Now, I'm putting my fingers up there going sponsorship, right?
Yeah,
paying 10 cases of Monster Energy drink to a 10-year-old BMX rider. I'm sorry, that's wrong. okay? And that should not be allowed. Now, they're backing off on that now, okay? But I wanted to take Verve Energy into BMX and into children's sports and into children's charities and foundations as a alternative to all the bad things that these, the older teenagers and stuff were drinking, and they were probably at 10 years old drinking these things too. But, from 10 up for sure, we had way too many kids consuming these massive amounts of caffeine and massive amounts of sugar and really throwing their body's balance off. And now, does it really show up in a 10, 12-year-old? Not that much, but we know what the long-term effects are.
Right,
And it weakens their heart. And this is no good. This is no good at all. And, and all because of this energy crisis, and we're chasing our tail with those synthetic, the synthetic, what am I talking about?
Come on, kick it out, Tony.
You're right. The synthetic caffeine that they were putting in all these, unhealthy energy drinks, because, you drink one and then you're going to crash, and then hours later you got to drink another one. And then this becomes a vicious cycle. And, it's just no good. And it just keeps digging deeper and deeper and deeper.
Well, one of my, let me tell you a little bit about what happened to me. I broke my back in 2010, and I didn't know I broke my back, actually. But my back started getting worse and worse, and I had to have spinal injections and all this other stuff. And this is during the time when I was getting into the Vemma, and I got the thirst. Remember, it was in the little packets, the little powders. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what did I tell you? I said, I don't know what's going on, but my back doesn't hurt as bad as it did. This was after probably about a month and a half after I had started doing this every day, drinking this product every day. And I was completely blown away. Things started changing for me, and so the product works. It's good for you. It's very healthy for you. And like you said, it's nutrition in a can. I mean, in a drink, in an energy drink, and these kids, that's what they need in their hands instead of the crap.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. If they're going to be drinking one, let's get them to drink a healthy one. Just substitute what they're drinking now, whether it's whether it's Starbucks energy drink, Red Bull, Monster, Rockstar, energy drinks, Powerade, Gatorades. I mean, we look to these Gatorades and Powerades to be a healthier,
right?
But no, they're loaded with sugar. Okay, They're loaded with sugar. They spike our sugar levels out of balance, and that leads to all kinds of major conditions. And then, on top of that, our product is amazing, and I want to cover that in a little bit.
Right.
But, you mentioned your back. And I'll tell you what, here with our product line, Vemma actually stands for vitamins, essential minerals, mangosteen, and aloe vera. Okay, so it's an acronym for what exactly is in our product. Okay, and so, it's got, 12 full spectrum vitamins and 65 trace and ultra trace plant source minerals. That's very important, plant source minerals. And that, but then when we add mangosteen, green tea, and aloe vera to it, we boost our antioxidant levels to levels never seen before in a nutrition product.
Right, okay. Right.
Now, mangosteen is amazing. It's got 140 healing properties. Now, this is what you were experiencing with your back, and how you told me one day, you go, man, this is changing me.
That's what it did. Yeah.
You told me there are things going on. This thing is changing me. And Robert, I'm gonna tell you, for about 2 years I'd had chronic back pain.
Right.
Due to arthritis, due to just working too hard in my life and not wearing back braces, when I was lifting and stuff like that. So, I had that back pain, and I couldn't bend over in the mornings, okay, and I couldn't bend over late at night. But in the middle of the day, it got better. But I couldn't even tie my shoes, Rob. And I was drinking this product. First, you know why I got in, right? I got in because of the foundation, right?
Right.
And so I got in. I was kind of playing with the Vemma formula a little bit, and I wasn't drinking it every day. But when I decided to take this to BMX, right, and get this in the hands of the kids out there in children's sports and stuff, I started drinking the Verve on a regular basis because I had a lot of it in my refrigerator.
That's right.
So when I did, it completely eliminated, in about 30 days after drinking that product every day, it completely eliminated that back pain. And that back pain's been gone now for a year and a half. Okay, brother, I don't think it's coming back. Okay? I think it's gone, and that's amazing. And that's due to the mangosteen in our product. And that mangosteen, with those 140 healing properties, one of those is an anti-inflammatory. Okay? And we have 2 clinical studies on our product that says that it drastically reduces inflammation in our body.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And that's done by a second-party laboratory called Brunswick Laboratories. And, they're the ones that study, lots of products and stuff. But we had to pay for that because, as you know, the FDA doesn't test or approve nutritional products.
Right. Well,
So,
the thing about it is when I told you things are starting, it's because I was feeling better. I was starting to feel less. That's why I'm like I can't wait for golf. I'm gonna be drinking a lot of herb and a lot of thirst. I'm gonna be doing a lot of thirst in the next 90 days. Is my goal to really put that stuff to the test, and it's that good for you. I'm gonna continue. It's gonna be an everyday ritual for me. It actually works out to be, I used to buy from GNC. I used to buy those Mega Man vitamins and stuff. I'm serious. I did before, and now I can drink really 2 bottles of thirst a day and have more vitamins in my body and feel a whole lot better than I can taking all them, and it kind of works out price wise too. So, but now you got a guest coming up real quick here too, and why don't you give an introduction to this person here?
Well, Robert, right, I am so, this girl, she knows a little bit about snow. She's up there in Canton, Michigan.
Well, she's not too far from me then.
Well, that's cool. I told you this thing's blowing up. And,
great.
We've been so huge up in Michigan State University for quite some time now. But Gina, she'll tell you about herself, and she'll tell you how long she's been with Vemma. But I really heard about her on a call not too long ago, and she told her story really quick. And I definitely want your listeners to hear from Gina. And her name is Gina Germont, and I probably butchered that last name. But Gina, you there? Can you hear me?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Of course we can hear you.
All right.
So how do you love the weather up here in Michigan? It sucks, doesn't it?
It's really great. It's so cold.
Oh, God.
The weather is nice one day and then cold the next. I can't take it.
No, it's like I think a lot of us Michiganders are ready to head south, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right. But anyway, so why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I mean, Tony's talked you up wow, it looks like you're just moving along. So it's all yours, man.
All right. Well, my name's Gina Germont. You actually got my last name right, so good job. You're 1 in a million. So awesome. I'm 20 years old, and I'm a junior at Central Michigan University. I've been in Vemma for about 5 months now. And the reason I decided to build a Vemma business and why I'm so passionate about this business is because I found out that over 50% of college students are unemployed or underemployed a year after they graduate. Meaning that most students spend 4 years of their life to get a degree, putting themselves into tens of thousands of dollars into debt. to end up jobless or working at Pizza Hut. Like, that's not okay with me, because before I knew about that, I was a hardworking college student who sacrificed the college experience and my social life so I could get good grades. So there was no way in heck I was going to bust my butt off in school to end up jobless and struggle financially my whole life. Like, honestly, nothing would make me more of a sour person than to go through my whole life in debt, working 3 jobs to support my family, not have any time to spend with them because I'm still paying my student loan debts off when I'm 50 years old and working jobs that don't even require a degree. There's so many college students that are in school and don't even know why, or they don't even fully look into the job that they want to go into.
You know, that's actually pretty interesting that you do say that, because seriously, you're hitting the nail on the head. I mean, there are kids out there who, you know, like you said, you know, they're putting themselves so far in debt, and at the end of the cycle, there's not going to be nothing there for them. So, right? I mean,
exactly, and like that, like it blows my mind that like people like they go to school and they don't even know why, besides the fact that their parents tell them to, but they have no like true passion through the whole time going into school, and it blows my mind.
Well, so that's see, this is why I think it's incredible that you found something that could possibly make that better, right?
Exactly, because that's what Vemma does for us. It gives us a chance to take control of our financial situations before our financial situations take control of us. So that's why I'm super passionate about this, because I get to help like my fellow college students not become a victim of like student loan debt, because it is now the #1 debt in America, and that's just it's only getting worse too. So that's like, we need to do something as a generation right now to.
Well, what as a young adult, I mean, in doing what you're doing, how does it feel for you to see a lot of these these high schools and all through grade school, high school, you were pushed to go to college. I mean, that pressure. I mean, just for you to have to go to college, knowing that if you're going to make any money or have any kind of success in your life, you have to go to college and you have to go in debt for it. I mean, how did that make you feel being a young adult?
Well, honestly, it makes me really confused, because like now people, that's what we assume. We assume that we are going to college to get a good job that will pay us well, but that's not necessarily the case now. Like, there's people who will get jobs after college, but they're not even getting enough a year that's going to help them pay back their student loans.
Right.
Like, they have more debt than they do making a year, like in a year.
Right.
Their first year after they graduate, and it blows my mind, because that's not a kind of life that we deserve to live. Like, we're human beings. We're God's highest form of creation. We deserve more out of life than what people are settling with right now.
Right, and I have a daughter who's actually she's going to be 19 next this year, and she's going to school to be an RN, and and we just the cost of school alone has just been phenomenal. I mean, I keep telling her, I said, well, it's good that you're going to be an RN, because you're going to have a lot of bills to pay off, and that's why, I've tried to steer her in the Vemma direction so she doesn't have to do that, so, I mean, so continue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your story, but go ahead. I mean, it's amazing. I just like to interject a couple questions. I apologize, but go ahead.
I mean, that's pretty much the story for me. Just other than the fact that not only does this help us with financial issues, but this also helps us become more of we develop more as a person.
There you go.
Before Vemma, I didn't talk to people. I studied in my room with the door locked, studied note cards and everything. I was a huge nerd. I would talk to my professors more than I'd talk to students. So I had talking issues. I couldn't even have a conversation with someone without being super awkward. So the fact that I've been able to overcome that and develop a lot as a person that is priceless to me, and that's something you don't learn in school either. There was no class on self-confidence. So
yeah, that's actually true, and one of the greatest things and I've got to applaud you. Really taking charge of your life. I'm actually, that's a good thing. That's a great thing. What you're really doing is you're taking charge of your life, and that's great. Yep. And good job.
Thank you.
Congratulations on it. Seriously.
Thank you.
I mean, in this economy, the way that the things are going, we know that things are tough right now. And as, being as young as you are, I mean, it's got to be a scary world, but it sounds to me like you've made the right choice.
Yeah, it definitely feels like I've made the right choice. There's, no confusion about my future anymore. I definitely know where I'm going, and I'm really, really excited about it. Well, that's something that most people my age can say.
Well,
so
no,
I'm
you're right.
hoping
You're
to
right.
change that.
You're right. And, Tony, this is why, Tony is like this. He's like a real good person to talk to. And he tells me all these people that he meets all the time. And, to meet a young adult as such as yourself and to hear about what Carolina was talking about there, just those things right there. I mean, this is our youth. Yeah, it's like that song, you guys are our future, because I mean, our generation. We're making things go to crap, and you guys are going to be the ones that are going to walk in and change it. It's people like you with attitudes, with the drive to want to succeed and not just lay around and let other people take care of you. You want to take care of yourself, and you're an amazing person to do that. So, I applaud you and congratulations on your success.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, not a problem. So, Tony, you have any questions for her? I'm sorry.
Well, I don't. I just want to tell you, Gina, I'm just so proud of you, and and I can't wait to see you in Vegas.
Oh, I can't wait to see you either. I'm super excited.
Yeah, that's just right around the corner. We're going to be there. Robert, we're going to be there with, out of 10,000, I bet there's going to be over half are going to be young adults under the age of 25.
There you go.
Just like Gina, that are just really got a good grasp, in their mind of what they want out of life and exactly how they're prepared to get it. Mm-hmm. And that's rare. I mean, half of us adults don't even know that, we don't know, if we know what we want, we don't know how to get it. And I tell you what, Vemma's showing us the way. And it's not for everybody. And Gina will be the first to tell you that. She's probably come across lots of people that it's not for. And that's cool. But for somebody that has a burning desire for change, okay, that has a burning desire to do something about their health or do something about their wealth or both, this can be an answer. This can be a solution. So all we try to do is really, and Gina knows this, we look around and try to identify a need and offer a solution. And if we can do that, and then leave it at that. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And, we're going to go on and we're going to do great things. And this Young People Revolution has got me so excited. And I'll tell you what, I'm super stoked to see Gina, like I said, in Vegas, as well as all the other friends that I've made across the country and around the world in the last, 2 years that I've been with the company.
I think I'm going to send her my daughter's phone number. She can call my daughter. Maybe it'd be better for you to sell my daughter on it than I am, because dad's never right? Dad's like, that's why I got most of my gray hair. Oh, good God, I never wish anybody to have a daughter. That's the worst, I'm sorry. But no, I mean, yeah, I'll definitely be probably texting you her number and her name, and you talk to her and you get her in on it. I would be forever thankful, because it's going to take someone young to get her talked into understanding, because when Dad talks about it, it's Dad doing this, blah, 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 right? So...
Yeah, well, I can talk to her.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, hey, I mean, now, if you got a little time, I guess, I do have a couple other questions, if you don't mind asking.
Of course.
Okay. Being, when you're talking about going to college and stuff like that, when you're, going in and stuff like that, now you're doing the Vemma Nutrition. What has changed for you right now? I mean, seriously, other than you just told us that, you're able to speak to people, you're a little bit more confident, you're not in a shell and stuff, but what are some other things that would change?
I would say habits have changed. I instead of watching Netflix for hours when I don't have anything to do, I'll read a book about personal development or network marketing just to expand my mind more. I'm always looking to learn more and more and expand my mind.
Right.
That's something I was kind of maybe more lazier back in the day, but now I'm obsessed with learning more and more about it.
You just described my daughter just a minute ago, laying around being lazy, watching Netflix all the time.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, your goals. I mean, you set some pretty good goals for yourself. And Tony was saying a little bit earlier. He was saying, you got to set these goals. So, what is your goals? I mean, where do you want to be 5 years from now?
By when?
5 years from now. 5 years.
5 years from now. That's a really hard thing to think about because there's so much is changing, so it's hard to see where I'm at 5 years from now. I just know that by 5 years from now, I know that I'll be making multiple millions of dollars. I'll be really high up in Vemma, traveling the world, just helping young people see this vision and taking control of their lives so that they can go after their passions, have time to actually do the things that they love to do and make this money that will pay them residually and help pay for their families,
right.
as well. You can make as much money as you want with this. If you have parents that are working 3 jobs still, you can help your parents as well. This isn't always just about you, you can help your family, you can help your friends, you can do whatever you want. You can make as much money as you want.
Right. So the one question is you're on the air right now on a podcast radio station. You're being probably listened to right now about close to about 3.7 million people around the world. So if you had a message for any youths out there who are your age, what would be that message to them?
My message would be to find what you're passionate about. I know that can be really hard, but it's worth it because we all as human beings have the ability to do whatever we want to do. If you put your mind to something and totally believe that you can have it, you can. Before Vemma, I didn't know that I could be someone who could talk to thousands of people. I didn't know that I could be someone who would have hundreds of new friends and stuff like that. I thought I was just going to be a psychologist, sit in a room with one patient, and it was going to be fine. But it's okay to expand your mind and actually go for something bigger than you ever thought possible because there are people who do it, and so why not you? You can do it too.
Right. And you're an amazing young lady there, and I applaud you. Now, what is your now let's talk about what's going on around us right now. What's your outlook on the way that the economy is right now? I mean, as a young adult, I mean, there's got to be things there that are affecting you.
Well, the economy is I've heard that it's being compared to the Great Depression, and that there's 70% of people in America hate their jobs,
mm-hmm.
or they just don't like it. And that's just, it's the fact that there's all of our parents are still working when they're,
right.
in their 60s and stuff, that's why college students can't get jobs because our parents are still working. They have our jobs.
Right,
so
right.
Things aren't getting better. I don't know much about politics and the economy and everything, but I just know from reading some stuff that it's rough and it's not getting better, and it's definitely going towards a technology economy. We need to actually start utilizing the technology that we have because that's what it's moving into. So that's why I know that with Vemma, this is definitely something that's going to last for a long, long time because we're taking advantage of the technology it's still relatively new. Like Instagram and Facebook and stuff, that's still relatively new. So the fact that we get to use that to make money is steps above the game right now.
Well, I think that's what it's for. And, again, the social media plays a big part in this. And, we were actually talking about that at the beginning of the show. And one of the biggest things is I noticed is it's like just the other day I was actually a friend of mine said good God, he goes, I was looking at how many tweets you do for your radio station. And I said I got quite a few, and people don't realize that Twitter is really is a very good tool to use to reach out to people, and it's brought a lot of success to even me. I always tell people, on the radio, I say, hey, you can tweet me at GH Talk Radio, and it's all lowercase GH Talk Radio, and lo and behold, I have people that are following me and stuff like that. Some very important people, some celebrities, and things like that. So you're using the same tools. You're using Instagram. But see, the good thing about Instagram, what I like is Instagram will cover everything. It'll cover your Twitter. It'll cover your Facebook. Everything. It'll cover all the avenues. And I'm sure you do the Snapchat too. I just tell Tony, God, Tony, I still don't get it. I just don't get Snapchat. It's like you get to see a movie for 10 seconds and it goes away and you never see it again. So what's the point? I mean, so. But Tony, do you have anything you want to ask her? Or?
No, I'm done. I want to elaborate on that. We're learning how to tell our story on little quicker and quicker mediums. So our attention is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. If you don't tell your story in the first 7 seconds of a YouTube video, these kids will skipping you. They're going on to the next thing. So this Snapchat is kind of that's the concept. You got to figure out how to tell your story. You got to spread your message in a very short window, and people don't want to be pushed. All of this. Advertising anymore. They want you to, they want it to be just like everything else. They just want it to be quick and effective, and and not really been pushed on them. So
you're right.
That's that kind of answers your question with Snapchat. We really don't know what we're doing with Snapchat yet, but we're working on it.
It's like I keep saying to my daughter, "Oh, what's the point?" She sends me a Snapchat, and I'm like, "Oh, I want that picture," and it's like gone. I'm like, "Son of a gun!" It's like, what's the point? Okay, what are you talking about? The 7-second elevator speech?
Yeah, well, catch up, Pops.
Well, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I hear you. Good God.
Well, hey, Robert. Well, thank you, Gina. Thank you very much, and hope you enjoy the weather. It's beautiful in Texas.
Shut up, Tony.
And, I think we're. I tell you what, I think we got somebody coming on, another guest coming on here pretty quick, and you'll let me know, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, I'm sure I'll let you know. I mean, okay. Yeah. Oh, I guess this person's on the air right now. But anyway, one of the greatest things about this show, and I'm really learning, is we got this young girl, Gina, and she's really she's really pushing it out there, and I'm really again, I applaud her for doing that. And Tony and Carolina, both of you guys are just incredible people. And although I don't know her as much as I know you, I'm sure you do talk about me and how much annoying I can get. But I'm just saying, you guys are all great. I mean, it's a great team you got here. And this next guy, now, from what Tony has told me, he's going to tell us pretty much everything we need to know about the product itself, right?
Woo! Oh, my goodness. I tell you what, what he's going to do is he's going to come in and he's going to really just put this in a nutshell for you. I guess we got Richard on the line. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, Richard's here with us right now.
All right.
Hey, Richard, how you doing, sir?
Oh, I am better than ever. How are you doing, Robert?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, hanging in there and doing my thing, enjoying myself. And Tony talks highly of you, so I guess we're in for a treat, aren't we?
Yes, definitely.
All right. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got your start, and then go ahead, man. Tell us what you know.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Yeah, I guess I kind of got introduced to this whole thing kind of mostly how everybody else does, through their friends. And naturally, most of us are usually skeptical when we get presented, an opportunity like this. And so, yeah, I was skeptical. My friends told me, but I kind of blew them off for a couple of weeks. And then kind of just, got back to them just because I wasn't really happy with the financial situation that I was at. So I got back to them, I heard the whole concept and everything. And they really, light bulb kind of just lit up in my head. It really all made sense. And once I put two and two together, and, that's, when I got started with this whole thing. I'm out here at Texas Tech University, 23 years old, out here, building this business, with my friends and family. So it's definitely awesome. I'm blessed, to have been heard about this opportunity. And, yeah, it's life-changing.
Wow. So now how old are you now?
23, about to be 24.
24 years old, and you're running a business, and you're probably pretty healthy too, aren't you?
Oh yes, definitely. I like running marathons, so that's one thing that caught my eye with this whole thing. That all the products are extremely healthy.
So why don't you give me what in the heck? It's a lot of people. I kind of got an idea what the product is, but we got a lot of listeners out here who are going to be listening to the show. And what is Vemma? And I mean, Tony touched on it earlier, and but he says you're the man. So let's hear it.
Yeah, definitely. Vemma, it's actually an acronym. It stands for Vitamins, Essential Minerals, Mangosteen, and Aloe. It's one of the most powerful liquid antioxidants out there, and that's really, that it's a 2-ounce formula, and that's what's put into all of our products, all of our protein shakes, energy drinks, juice, and that's, what makes everything so healthy. Mangosteen is a super fruit. It's a superfood that's, originally from Southeast Asia, so it's very high in antioxidants, kind of similar to like blueberries and stuff. Right. That's like the main ingredient in our Vemma formula, and that's what, makes it so potent. So where, we're able to help so many people on a health standpoint. And it's awesome. Dr. Oz, I'm not sure if Tony covered that.
No.
Our products were on Dr. Oz. That's pretty big. Dr. Oz really doesn't endorse many things. So, when he had our products on his show, talking about how, just drinking a half can of Verve or energy drink, followed by, a handful of almonds, that's literally the healthiest form of energy that you could put into your body.
Right. Well, I think, one of the biggest things I noticed, like, I don't know if you heard, I don't think you were on the show then, but one of the biggest things I was telling Tony that, when I started drinking, I actually started drinking Thirst. And I liked it. I liked the idea of putting it in a bottle, shaking it up. I like the new stuff, but it's a liquid now. It's better. I remember having to shake the hell out of those bottles, man.
Yeah.
But it was really good, and he said, he said you gotta stick with it, and I did, and then I remember one time, and I actually I never ever really called Tony up like I did, and I said, Tony, he knew my back problems, and he was very sympathetic with, having to have spinal injections and all sorts of things. It feels like they're ripping your back apart. And one of the things that I noticed is my back pains was starting to disappear. I mean, the pain was there, but it was a different kind of a pain. And then some other things started happening, a little bit more energy, a lot more other things that are happening. So, I mean, obviously the stuff's good for you. And I mean, and another thing that, there was a story that Tony had told me, and I'm not sure, I'm not sure where the story come from, but he talked about a guy that was, it was that older guy that was, Tony, do you remember who he was? That guy that was like really super sick, and he started doing the Vemma, that plan, and he got healthy. I mean, he recovered from almost a fatal disease, didn't he? Wasn't it something like that?
Robert, that was probably a little while back, and as Richard well knows too, we get so many of them now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall exactly what you were talking about, but we'll literally get stories, Facebooked, personal messaged into us all the time now.
Right.
And it's really crazy, but I think we have a site on. Richard, do you know the website that tells you about all the personal stories? It's
not too sure. I know Vemma Science goes into more of the science and the health benefits from it, but I know there might be a link on there that has the link to the testimonials that would show all the testimonials that we've been having with the health benefits from this.
Yeah.
Well, Richard, in your opinion, what would you feel that you've gained more health-wise since you've been drinking Vemma, the product? I mean, what has changed in your life?
Yeah, definitely health-wise, it's definitely helped me a lot. Like I said, I've been a marathoner, so I get pretty competitive with my racing. And I could definitely say that it's helped me on the performance level because, also being a college student, during finals week and having to study all the time, we don't really know what to take. We need to stay up late, so we're always drinking like Red Bull, Monster, coffee, drinking all these things just to stay up. So I know those are definitely having an effect on me personally, like health-wise and also performance-wise. So when I definitely switched to this product instead, where I was, getting that same energy that I was looking for, but now it was, healthy, and that's, definitely where I started seeing a big difference in my performance and also just in general, no crash or anything, just feeling good throughout the whole day.
Right. Now, that's actually what Tony was talking about earlier for him, too. I mean, when he started really indulging in the product, he started noticing a lot of changes in his back problems as well. And it's different for everybody. We're not sitting here telling everybody that this is the miracle cure, but it is a lot healthier than a lot of the things that we consume and put into our bodies. You have to agree with that, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, nowadays, it's very hard to find things that, are healthy, to consume, because nowadays everything's, quick and easy, and most of the time, those things that are quick and easy to consume aren't the healthiest things out there.
Right. Now, if you were going to make seeing that you're the guy that knows this product really well, what would you recommend for someone who is just starting out and who wants to be healthy? What would you recommend that they start out with? I mean, there's a lot of different products, but let's say if they're not really into the energy drink, what would you recommend for them?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, our Vemma formula will make all our products healthier, like I was saying, in all of our products. So, if somebody doesn't like energy drinks, well, we have a juice, that's called Renew.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't like juice, so we do have a brand new coffee that just came out called Mojo, as well as, the clinically studied formula. So, they could try that drink as well. If they don't like that, we have our body line. So, we have the body shake, if you were trying to lose weight or gain weight. So it's really more preference. They all have the same health benefits. You're still getting all the vitamins, all the plant source minerals that you need, for the whole day, with whichever product you choose. Right.
And now, Tony, you had a question?
Absolutely. Hey, Richard, I know how, you were saying what this product did for you personally, but I know there's a lot of kids out there that the product is not exactly what may get them excited about this company. Mm-hmm. And I'm just wondering if you could tell us what makes us different as a company and why we're not in stores, and how does our business model differ from like those other energy drink companies out there?
Right, definitely. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, this is actually, besides the whole health benefits and all that stuff, the whole, Vemma concept, the whole business plan, that's actually, what really caught my eye, because it's literally, the simplest concept in the world. because it's something that, you know, especially my generation, just really everybody as a whole, you know, it's something we're already doing. You know, we're always promoting things, we're always sharing things with our friends, always referring things. And out here, you know, Vemma is simply an opportunity, you know, for you to get the chance to get paid for that.
Right.
You know, kind of just to give you, you know, an example, the simplest example I could think of is, let's say, you know, if I go to the movies. You know, if I go to the movies, I see the newest movie out, and I tell, you know, my buddy Tony, I'm just like, hey, Tony, I just saw this movie. It's amazing. It's the best movie I've seen all week. You have to go check it out. You know, Tony, based off of my opinion, Tony will be like, yeah, of course. You know, I'll go check it out. You seem like you really like it. And it's not like, you know, I didn't sell him a ticket or anything. I didn't buy extra tickets to try to, you know, profit to sell Tony or anything. You know, I simply recommended, you know, the movie to my friend. He goes to watch the movie, and I didn't get paid for that. You know, that's, to me, a little unfair because it would be cool, you know, if the producer, you know, Cinemark or whatever theater it is, you know, they send me an email like, hey, Richard, you know, here's, you know, thank you for telling Tony about the movie. Here's $10.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, that would be awesome. And it's cool because that's literally what we're doing here.
Boy, someone ought to start that one up. That'd be a good one. Hey, this actually, I got a question for both of you guys.
Okay.
How does your company compare to other companies in the industry?
Okay. Richard, you want that, or you want me to?
You go ahead, Tony.
Okay. How our company compares to other companies in the industry? Well, I'll tell you what, that's a good question, because we are basically all alone in the industry. Okay. You know, from a first glance, it may appear to be a lot like some of the other things that you heard about in your life, but now we are more based on affiliate marketing like you would, say, Amazon.com. So what we are really is basically Amazon.com meets Facebook meets Healthy Energy when it comes down to these kids anyway. And, you know, we've just got this really robust affiliate program that just pays the end consumer. And so we got all these other companies out there that spend, you know, what is it? $900 million, Richard, a year?
Yeah.
In advertising? Yeah. In advertising, where our company actually takes those advertising dollars. It has a zero advertising budget. It takes those advertising dollars that, like Red Bull Monster and stuff, billboards, and pay people to jump out of airplanes or out of outer space, and it takes those dollars that normally be spending there, and it gives those people that to the consumer themselves, gives that money to the consumer themselves. So it's 50 cents on every dollar that Vemma makes is paid out to people like Richard and Gina and myself and, you know, Caroline and all these other, you know, thousands and thousands of people out there that are consuming our product on a daily basis. Now they're getting paid to consume our product and then recommend our product to their networks.
Right.
And because they're this age demographic and they're the most socially connected, you know, generation ever, they're the prime suspects to be spreading this. And that's where kids like Richard come in. And, you know, these college kids, they're surrounded with people that are just like them, that people that are consuming products just like them. And that's the power of this. And, you know, Richard can tell you more about that. You know, he's right in the middle of it.
Well, hey, Richard, I got a question for you then. How much does this fit? Does this fit into someone's daily life? Is this something extra that they can have to do? I mean, how does it fit into your life and your daily life?
Yeah, you know, actually, Robert, that's one thing that I really love, because it's not something that, you know, that you can really like clock in, clock out. Not something where you have to set like an exact time to, you know, say like, okay, I'm going to do Vemma from, you know, 6 to 12 every night. You know, because it's something that you simply just build on your own time. Because me personally, you know, I'm a full-time college student. You know, I'm an athlete. I'm a runner. You know, I'm in a fraternity, and I have all these things going on. So I just, you know, simply just build it on my free time, and that's what's so cool about it. It's just a part-time thing, you know, that starts, you know, generating income, and then, you know, until it turns into something full-time. So it's cool, you know, simply doing this, telling my friends, because all we're simply doing is just networking with our friends. And that's something, you know, that we're doing all day long. it's something that we do subconsciously. So here, I'm just simply, sharing this drink with my friends, sharing them, telling them, about the product, about the opportunity. If they like the whole thing, they see the bigger picture, then we get them started. And that's honestly what makes this thing so powerful, just because it's all word of mouth advertisement.
Right.
Because nowadays, the number one form of advertising, is word of mouth. Most businesses, most companies, corporations, that's what they want. They're looking, to have their brand to be, really the word on the street, like the buzz around, town and stuff. So it's cool how, Tony was covering how, our CEO became very good. He just eliminated, billboards, magazine ads, all that stuff, really gave us, the consumer, the chance, to just, do something that we're doing already on a daily basis and get paid for that. So, I just saw it as a simple transfer of dollars. I was already buying protein shakes, multivitamins, coffee, energy drinks. So I just stopped buying those things, bought this instead, and got a free business model attached to it. And it's, that's kind of where I realized, I could buy all the Red Bull, Monster, Gatorade, coffee, in the world, all that stuff that I want. And those companies are never going to pay me for it.
Right,
So I kind of saw this thing as a no risk, because even if I didn't make money, I just simply spent my money on something else, and I was going to get healthy because of it.
Right. Now, Tony, I got a question for you. How much time is needed to build up a residual income?
Well, of course, the more time you spend correctly, the faster you're going to build a residual income on this.
Right.
But time, we let they own their own business, but they're not by themselves in that business. Okay, but because they own their own businesses, we allow them to set their schedules and to really tell us how much time that they want to spend building their business, okay? And then depending on that time that they want to spend, whether it's 30 minutes a day, an hour a day, 2 hours a day, or whatever, that'll determine how quick their success is in the company.
Right.
And it's a learn as you go business, just like anything else ever is. If I went to work at Home Depot today, I wouldn't walk in that door knowing everything about Home Depot, okay? But I would still get paid on Friday. Well, Vemma's not any different than that. You're going to learn as you go. You don't need to know it all, but the faster you learn and the faster you grow and get better at the business, absolutely, and the more time you spend on it, the faster you're going to go.
Wow.
But the most important thing is not the time that you spend. It's the consistency and the quality of the time that you spend.
Right. Okay, now, hey, I got another one for you, buddy. You ready? What sets your product apart from other nutritional supplements?
I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and get that. What sets it apart is complete. Okay?
Right.
Complete nutrition. So when we're talking about a lot of your company, you'll have these multivitamins, okay? Well, vitamins will not absorb into your bloodstream without the proper balance of minerals.
Right.
Okay? So these minerals are what we're deficient in all of our foods because of the soils that these plants are growing in, and we're like 85% less of these minerals in our soils than they were just 20 years ago. So I mean, we're really hurting when it comes to that. So we really need these minerals and these plant-based minerals in our bodies to absorb these vitamins. Right. And so our company has put the right mix of these vitamins and minerals and put it all in a liquid form and all in a little 2-ounce bottle that we can take, or inside each of these energy drinks that these kids are actually blowing up and making so popular. There's also 2 ounces of that Vemma formula in each one of those. So when we drink a can of Verve every day, we're getting 9 servings of organic fresh fruits and vegetables. We're getting the equivalent of that. And, that's what really That's what really sets it apart, and that's the difference. Is it's complete.
Right.
And
right.
you know, the mangosteen, you can get mangosteen in other places, but you're not going to get it mixed with this green tea and this aloe vera mix with these 12 full spectrum vitamins and these minerals. So that's really the difference.
Really. Now, okay. Now, hey, Richard, you still with us there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Hey, so, you know, I want to thank you for taking time and coming in here and talking about the product and stuff like that. And I'm really I'm really impressed. I mean, you're a young adult. You're out there and you're doing something good. You're very confident. And I really want to wish you the best of luck. I mean, seriously, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Rob. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on here and help you guys out. Paint the bigger picture with this whole vision we have going on with Vemma.
Right. Well, one of the biggest things is I just want you to know that you can always come back. I'm sure that Tony and I are going to have another show coming up here pretty quick. We're going to have to, Tony. This is too big of a thing. So. I want to thank you. I know you're a busy guy, so it was nice talking to you, and you take care of yourself, all right?
Yeah, likewise. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Richard.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Take care.
So, right there, we just had Richard. He's Vemma, knows all about it. He's been part of the company for a while there, and looks like he's being pretty successful. Now, Tony, our other guest just showed up. We have a little bit of time to get him in here if you want to introduce him. So,
absolutely. Well, this next young man, he is literally my rock star. I tell this is the guy I was talking about earlier in the show that had kind of a goals and dreams, kind of like yours, Robert. And, I know how you're musical. I've heard your guitar playing and stuff, and I know your background as far as that goes. But Destin Sparkman, he's out. He's 17 years old, Robert. Okay,
17 years old.
He's just a kid, right? But I tell you what, man, he has impressed me so much. He's going to tell you a story here, and he's going to tell you, what led him to our company originally and how long ago that was that it led him to it. But Destin, man, I tell you what, you just really fire me up. I want you to tell the GHTR radio listening world what excites you about Vemma and what led you to this point. Starting back in when I first talked to you the very first time, and then just take us through kind of what the questions that we ask you. Why are you coming back? Can you do that for us, guys?
Of course, Tony. I can do that for you. All right. Really quick, man. For one, thank you for having me on here. Thank you for providing all this for me and welcoming me to your team. Even though I live in a completely different state as you, we've never even met. But I heard about Vemma through one of my friends back in July. And it was funny because he pushed me the wrong way. He came into the house, yelling and screaming about making money, having cars, and all this kind of stuff. And he wanted to drag me to some random house. And, when you hear something like that, even if it's your friend, you're like, no. I brushed it off and I went home. Well, I did some research. I looked it up. I ended up getting in touch with Tony. And for about a month or month and a half, I kind of learned about it, was kind of fence about it. And then I completely blew it off. I don't know why. I regret it so much.
I did the same thing. So
3 or 4 months, I blew it off. And then back in January, or December actually, I was just walking through Ybor, going to a show, and I looked at my wallet and I realized, I have a job. Yeah, I have no money. Like that's not how it's supposed to work. So, I remembered about Vemma, and I remembered about the opportunity. And so I got in touch with Tony again. I went to some events, and I got started in January, and I absolutely love it. I mean, if I was every day waking up, being your own boss, being able to do what you want to do, live the life you want to live. I mean, I'm doing this for my family, my friends. I mean, honestly, the money is nice, but I don't care about the money. I mean, honestly, you can ask me or anyone. If you ask us what we care about most, we're not going to say the money. We're going to take the opportunity and what it does for people and helping people. Like, I'm all about helping people. I want to help my friends, build the lives and dreams they always want. We're always throwing our dreams and aspirations away every single day. Like, why are we doing that? They say we got taught from recreation, so why are we going down in mediocrity? We want to do what we want to do. And honestly, man, that's what Vemma provides. It gives us the opportunity to do what we want in life. And I saw that. And I thought it was going to get me to where I want to get, with college, with the music industry. And so, I'm all in on this. I've been going out for about 2 or 3 months. And, it hasn't been easy, that's for sure. I've had my doubts, and I've been at my low point with it, but I stuck with it. The team's building, and I couldn't thank Tony enough. I couldn't thank all the help enough for doing this, and we're taking us to the top. I mean, my boy Wayne's right here with me, getting ready to sign up. He's going to kill it. I'm just so stoked for all these guys here and everything that we're going to do with this. We're going to be the number 1 Fuller team out there. I can promise you that right now. We're going all the way with this.
Look at the confidence in this guy. Listen to him, man. I mean, it's like, okay, at 17 years old, you're pretty dang confident. Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so you wanted to be a rock star, right? Is that what it was? Who knows?
Huh?
I said you wanted to be a rock star at one time, right?
Yeah, I want to. Well, my dream is to still be in a band. I want to be the front man in a metal band. But that, and then also I plan on going to Full Sail University to get a major in recording arts. So I've kind of opened the branch with my music and what I want to do with it.
Oh, there you go. You paved the way for yourself, is what you did.
Well,
and this is, yes, sir.
Oh man, I tell you what, you can probably Destin doesn't know about your background.
No, he doesn't.
What we had talked to Destin, about originally, me and Kelly, and we asked him about this stuff, and Kelly was telling him, it's really hard, Destin, to break into the music scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's really difficult, and you know that well. But what Kelly told him was that if you can work in the industry for free, you'll be in the right place, around the right people, just waiting for the right time. But if you have to make a living while you're trying to do that, it makes it a whole lot more difficult. And that, that's what Destin has really grabbed a hold of this opportunity. And he has spent a lot of time learning and learning and learning. And, and that's so patient. These kids, Robert, you probably know as well as I do, these kids are not the most patient people in the world, right? They want this instant gratification.
Yeah.
And Destin has been like just an amazing young man, and I am so blessed to have tripped over Destin and that he wants to follow.
Right.
He wants to follow until he is prepared and ready to really just take the reins and completely go for it. And he's really going for it every day. But he's a phenomenal young man, and Destin, just tell me one more time. He goes, what is it about Vemma that really excites you the most? I mean, just really, I know going out and being able to help, but how do you see, what kind of future plans do you have with Vemma? What kind of timeline do you see yourself becoming where you're able to, really get out of a job and get going? What kind of timeline do you think?
Yeah, I actually have my goals written down on sticky notes in the mirror in the bathroom, so I see them every morning. By August 18th, or whenever senior year starts, I think it's August 18th, I want to have the company car, which I've been looking at, the 2014 Corvette Stingers. Around that time, I want to be able to quit my job, walk away from that around that time. By the end of this year, when the ball drops, I want to be making $8,000 a month, which is a presidential level, I believe. By June 1st of next year, I want to be at the ambassador level. And by June 1st of the following year, I want to have a 7-figure income.
Whoa.
So I want to be a millionaire.
Oh, of
I'll
course
be a
you want.
19-year-old millionaire. That's my goal.
Woo! I love it.
You tear it up.
Robert, what this company teaches these young adults to do is set their goals big, right? Get them out there, set them big, and then back up from that point. Okay, back up from that point and see exactly what it looks like to be able to get to there. You know, if say, you know, Robert, you wanted to make $100,000 a year, right? In something. Well, you would get your average ticket. Say any business, you just take your average ticket, figure out how many of those it would take to make $100,000 a year, then figure out how many a week, how many of those tickets you'd have to sell a week, and then how many per day. And you can really take those big goals and those big dreams, and you can back them up to what you're going to have to do daily to achieve it.
Right.
And you may have to readjust here and there, but you know what? If you set them high, he sets his goal high for $8,000 a month, and he misses it by a little and only gets to $7,000 a month. You know, he'll be a little disappointed that he missed his goal, but you know what? He's still on his way. We know
$7,000 a month still isn't bad.
No.
Right.
No, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, so, you know, Destin is you have to agree with me, Robert. This is a 17-year-old kid.
Well, then I do wish him success. I just want to say, hey, Destin, thanks for coming on the show and telling us your story, giving us your input. You're awesome, and I hope to see good things. And when you get going with the music a little bit more, get on our show. Guaranteed, you're going to be, you know. Tony will tell you about my background when he tells you a little bit later. I'm sure you'd want to know. But anyway, again, thanks a lot for coming on here. And Tony,
thank you, Destin.
Thanks for bringing this guy here. I mean, he's awesome. 17 years old, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you guys for having me on here, and thank you, Tony, again for everything you've done.
All right, brother.
I'll tell you what. If you become a millionaire before your first year, right? You're gonna have to fly me out to a party out there. All right. Is that a deal?
Yeah, it's a deal.
Okay, just remember this is a podcast, so I have that in your own voice. So I'm gonna hold you up to it. Okay.
Okay.
All right, you better be a millionaire in a year because I want to see a kick-ass party. All right.
All right. Thanks, Destin.
All right. Thanks a lot, Destin.
No problem, Tony.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's amazing that this 17-year-old kid has such goals for himself. I mean, this is just totally is awesome, and I gotta, this is what I like that, the movement. It is a movement. These kids are going to be very wealthy and very healthy. And just give the generation some more time, and it seems like things are going to get worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what, Robert? His goals are actually extremely realistic.
Oh, yeah. And that's what makes it exciting.
He could have made those goals. He did those on his own. And, had I been there to help him before he had them all laid out and everything, I might have told him to set them a little bit higher. But he actually made extremely realistic goals, and he knows how to achieve them. And that's the important part, because without a plan to achieve them, they're just hopes.
Right.
They're just wishes. But he's got goals, okay? These are goals, and he knows exactly. He's got a system that we call the YPR Roadmap to Success. And he's got a system in front of him daily, and he knows what he has to do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to reach his goals that he made. Okay? Those weren't wishes, and they weren't hopes. Those are realistic goals, and then he's got a full team of people. Unfortunately, he's got a gentleman by the name of Matt Morrow that makes $4,000 a day that is personally coaching Destin to achieve his goals. Okay? Personally. And that's all you can help. Yeah, that's all you can hope for in life. If you got somebody willing to take you by the hand and show you step by step how to achieve your goals, and it'll be there to back you up, man, that is priceless.
That is true, and that's is why I really like why we had the subject matter, why I asked you to be a guest, and we're getting about 15 minutes before the end of the show. And talking about Vemma was an absolute thrill, and I hope that people are listening. This is not it's not for everybody, and believe me, it's not. There's a lot of involvement, but the gratitude. Our guests tonight, they're all young kids, and that's just great. So. I want to thank Tony for actually, doing this and setting these interviews up with these young adults, because I think it's inspirational to our youth right now. And I definitely hope that, anybody that's listening will understand that this is something that you need to think about. You need to put some thought into it. I mean, stop thinking about the crap in life and start thinking about something, your future. And this is a really good plan. And maybe that's just, maybe my pitch is a little bit harder than yours, but you know what I'm saying. But I want to get into the last 15 minutes of the show. I like to get my guest, and I like to put him on the chair and ask him a question. And we talk about that subject, and you know that was going to happen, so no surprises here. All right. One of the things is again, I want to have you back on the show. I want to we should do some more shows with Vemma Power Partners Radio to get the word out there just like this. Get some more guests on there, get their testimonials and stuff. Let's bring this to the world. I mean, I think it's ready, don't you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, I know you're going to ask me some hard-hitting questions here, and I'm ready. I'm in the hot seat. I'm locked, cocked, and ready to rock with you. But hey, I want to say one thing before we go, and if you can do me a big favor, I'm going to send you the websites for each of these young people that were on your show tonight.
All right.
And you can put those in the notes of that podcast when you put it out to the world. And if something, one of these kids resonated with your listeners, with you guys out there, if it resonated in your mind, and you can relate to what one of these kids had to say tonight, take a look at their website, get in touch with them, and see if this Vemma thing can be for you. Like we said, we know it's not for everybody, but maybe it's for you. But we want to get your questions answered. Right. And just so get back with one of these kids. So now, after saying that, Robert, is that possible to get that done?
Yes, sir. You give me that stuff. We'll get that in the show notes. We'll get it up on the website and stuff like that. Okay. We're going to actually be getting with Tony here real quick in the next couple weeks. The GHTR is basically, we are officially, I am an unpaid sponsor. And I'm just, I think we need to put more on our page there for Vemma Nutrition, and I'm going to make Tony keep up on that and get that stuff up to date. And we got a lot of information to share with everybody, and these stories are incredible. So, all right, today I know that a lot's been going on. You and I have had some pretty good, interesting conversations before, and I always loved the way that you feel about certain things. But earlier in the show, I was asking you if you noticed I was kind of steering our young listeners into the shape of the economy. They say that I was reading a thing today. They said that in the state of Michigan, employment is on the rise. It means people are starting to get jobs. But what they fail to do is they fail to see that those statistical numbers are not counting the people that are already unemployed. And people whose employment benefits had ran out and they're suffering. They're probably living on the streets and stuff like that. I mean, what's your outlook with the economy right now? I mean, seriously, how do you feel about the way things are going right now?
Well, I know for a fact that the economy goes the way the housing market goes, and the housing market rebounded in Texas relatively quickly. Thank God. But it's been slower to rebound across the country, so therefore your economies have been, hard hit longer than they have,
right.
Here in Texas. But, things are not going to get better, okay, overall. I can tell you right now that computers and technology has taken jobs away from people faster than jobs are being created, okay? You're getting kiosk in place of bank tellers. You're getting kiosk in place of McDonald's and Jack in the Box workers,
right.
Okay? This is something that's growing really quick. I don't know if it is up there yet.
Oh yeah, we got it on like a few. Well, the only one I have right now is Redbox.
Oh well. As you know, Blockbuster and Hollywood Videos have been gone.
Yep.
Right. They've been replaced with Netflix and Redbox. Your Radio Shacks are on their way out. Staples is on their way out. These places, they're not going to be replaced, okay? These are jobs that are going away that are not going to be replaced. And it's just going to be one after another after another. But if you think about this, back in the 1940s, majority of all businesses were personally owned businesses, okay?
Right.
Not these large corporations, okay? And it shifted. Well, the shift is coming back. Okay, and it's coming back big time, back to where home-based businesses, okay? And so the people that make that shift in the forefront are going to be the ones that really benefit from it the most. And the ones that sit back and wait for those jobs to return
right.
Have got another thing coming because they're going to be – we're getting very close to 50% is government subsidized, okay? So that is a huge problem for a democracy when 50% is living are takers and 50% are makers.
Right.
We got a huge problem because those makers are going to stop. They're going to take their money and go to, live on an island somewhere for the rest of their life and stop making jobs for people.
Okay, and so you're saying that, and that's you're pretty much I agree with everything you've talked about, and it's just like the small businessman. It's like you mentioned about a lot of businesses being home based. Well, that's literally what I had to do because the cost to having an office and all that big overhead and all those bills, I mean it's tremendous, and just to keep your head above water, being a small business and stuff like that. And the economy right now, my opinion, is in the crapper pretty big. But another question I have for you is now you don't have to answer this question if you don't want to because it's gonna be a pretty powerful one. But I where my job is. I sit in front of the computer, so you obviously know that I see a lot of different news and read a lot of different articles and stuff like that. And sure. one of the biggest ones right now is I find it incredible that it almost seems like our President Obama is the most hated president ever that we've ever had. And I don't understand. I mean, I really don't understand. And what's your views on that?
Well, my views is, it's always pretty close to 50-50 once again. He's really hated by most Republicans. And, when it comes down to it, I really feel like I'm a Republican, by the way. Let me just go ahead and stick that out there.
Oh, no.
I'm not a Republican that says I'm going to vote Republican. Okay, I'm not going to vote for any old Republican,
right? Just
because he's got a title that says he's Republican. Okay, I'm going to vote for the best person at the time. I feel that under the situation that our country has really responded well. I mean, compared to when he took office. He took office under the possibly the worst condition our country had ever been in.
There you go. Yep.
Very close to the worst. Okay. Now, I know for a fact you're up in Michigan. Okay. You had all your motor companies, General Motors, Ford, Chrysler, and all those. They were all about to go completely under. Okay, which would completely have devastated everything in your area. Okay, I feel like, and they didn't go under. Okay, they took loans out from the government. Then they paid those loans back, right? And they're still running. So I feel like we responded pretty well. Are there things that are not right? Of course there is. We haven't fixed the deficit, but I think we stopped the bleeding. But, we got a lot of work to do as a country. The president's got a big job to do. Whoever our next president that we're going to have is going to have a huge job to do. This is not something that's going to fix itself overnight. So, I don't cast blame. If anything, if we want to blame the president, we need to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, we voted an overwhelming majority to put him in that office. Okay? So look in the mirror and cast that blame on yourself as well, because we voted him into office fairly and squarely, and we were hoping for change, and whatever change we got is what we voted for. So that's it.
No, sorry about that. I accidentally hit the wrong button.
I thought I went too long.
No, we're good. No, we can actually go over just a minute though. But the thing about it is it's really how I feel. He came in at a real bad time. I feel, I actually, I know that there's a lot of things I don't agree with, what he has done. But it's not really, I'm not hating the man for it. There's no reason for me to hate the man. So that's really all I have to say about that. But I do admire your honesty, and thanks a lot for answering that.
Absolutely.
That's a tough question.
I got one more thing.
Okay.
Create your own economy.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. We're creating our own economy. Okay. We don't like the economy that we have. Create your own. It can be fixed. The government isn't going to do anything that is going to directly affect Robert, okay? They do stuff that is going to overall try to affect everybody.
There you go.
The most important person for fixing Robert's situation is Robert, okay? Tony for fixing Tony's situation, and Caroline for fixing Caroline's. And that is who you have to, that's where all the blame, and that's where all the credit goes when it comes to your personal economy.
There you go.
So take credit for your own economy and make it happen.
Well, listen to that speech. Boy, how tall was that soapbox? But the thing about it is, hey, I got to thank you for coming on the show, and Caroline too. I really appreciate your time coming on the show and talking about this great product, this deal, and it's awesome, and it's an honor, Tony, to have had you as a friend all these years, and I might not be the best guy in the Vemma world right now, but it'll come in time, and I guarantee it. It's just it takes a little bit for me to get up and going and get it cycled through, but I just wanted you to thank you for coming on the show and being my guest. I mean, it's truly an honor.
Well, I absolutely really enjoyed it, and thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to come out and just share our stories, and and tell the people out there, a little bit about what we're doing and why we're excited. So thank you very much, Robert, and I look forward to being on a show in the future if you'll have us, and and continuing this friendship that we have.
Well, obviously. I mean, the thing about it is this is one of the things. Now, you and I have had a lot of conversations, and one of the most amazing conversations I had with you was one time we were talking, and it's like you had asked me. You said, you were talking to me because you were saying, "Oh my God, you guys are really blowing the hell out of Facebook." And it's teamwork. It's this network. And he goes, "You guys are building this network that we talk about. These network of people that we work with. It's almost like I network with Tony. Tony networks with me, and then we network with other successful people, and this network becomes what we just talked about. It becomes our own economy. It becomes our own neighborhood. It becomes our people, the people who we associate with." And Tony said one time, "Surround yourself with successful people, and you'll be successful yourself." And that was spoken very truly. And you should be. I hope. Is his head growing any bigger?
I try to stay kind of.
Yeah, here we go again. Yeah, one of the things you have a real problem with is compliments. Because you've always been that way. You've always I remember one time you go, "Hey, don't get all excited. I ain't much. All I am is I'm just here to help you, man." And I was like, "Who is this guy?" It's like, "And who are you?" "You're one of my best friends. You're Tony Wilks."
Yeah, well, dude, what I know best is surround yourself with people that are smarter than you, and and do something you love, and you'll never work a day in your life.
You know who else says that? You know who else says that?
Who?
Buster.
Buster, yeah.
Buster says the same thing. He says, he goes, "It's just like with everything that's happened. You know the whole story about how the whole story. Now Buster has one of the greatest people. I say the greatest because I feel really good and very confident that he has the right people in the right place right now to get that foundation off the ground." And he said exactly that. "I surrounded myself with people smarter than me."
There you go.
So kudos to Buster. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for listening to the show tonight. Again, Tony, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. And we'll catch you guys next week. Got a real nice guest coming on, an author, and we'll be promoting that this week. And he's an author of a really cool book. And I'm actually looking forward to talking to this guy. I think him and I are going to have a lot in common. Again, hey, thanks a lot, Tony, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Peace. Thank you.
Nationwide Podcast Radio, www.ghtalkradio.com.